The beginning of the year is a great time. Sit down, go over your finances.
Here to help set us up for success in 2026 is financial advisor Maggie Johndrow. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
To the New York living, as it were.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I just started this process.
Okay.
You wanna feel your humanity, your mortality?
Yeah.
Look at your bank statements. Okay, you're gonna walk us through some steps to help us refresh in our finances. First up, maximize your contribution to your retirement, your 401k, as it were.
Absolutely. So if you have a 401k or a 403b, an employer-sponsored plan, great time to look at the year and attempt to maximize what you're putting in. It's increased the amount that you can maximize. So if you're under 50, that's $24,500. If you're 50 years or older, you get an additional $8,000. And then there's the super catch-up between 60 and 63 of $11,250 extra dollars you could put in. So lots of opportunity to save, invest, and hey, if you're doing pre-tax, it is going to help your taxes as well.
It's like, but you're looking at that, like you say, okay, great, I'm gonna save for retirement, but like the percentage of your income that goes into retirement, like what do you, because how do you figure that out?
Absolutely. So at first, you just want to start with if your employer matches, which many do, at least put that in. So an employer match, let's say they'll say we're going to match up to 5% of what you put in. So you put in 5% of your paycheck, they're going to give you 5% of your paycheck into your 401k. It is free money, so don't leave it on the table.
Yeah. Okay.
People with children.
Yes.
This is a question that we're going through right now because my kids are young and they're hopefully one day will go to college.
Yes.
What's the best way to save for college for them, do you think?
Yeah, so above all, I suggest looking into a 529 plan. The pushback I always get on them is, what if my kid doesn't go to college?
Yes, that's huge.
Right. But the good news is, under the new tax law, there's been some expansion on what you can use your 529 plans for, including K through 12 education, including some student loans, and including non-traditional college routes like technical schools. You can use it for grad school. So there's a lot of new options for 529 plans. But if you want to truly save for college, 529 plans make a lot of sense because there's tax benefits to them. There's a state tax deduction here in New York. There's also tax-free growth. And if you use the money for qualified education expenses, it comes out tax-free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
I know you are.
We're doing it.
I know you're going to have
it. I'm so happy to hear that.
Okay, revisit, reorganize your budget with buckets.
Yes, yes. So when people think about saving for a goal, it can feel really daunting. So break it down, right? And create a bucket for every goal you have. Maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a down payment on a property, maybe it's your kid's college, like you said. Create those buckets and then automate your savings into them. So every single paycheck, automatically a piece goes into a bucket. By midway through the year or at the end of the year, you're totally going to meet your goal if you just work backwards.
This is a metaphorical bucket, right? We don't have actual buckets.
That's a great question. So some like banks will give you the ability to create buckets. For example, Ally Bank, which is a high yield savings account, that's FDIC insured, they actually let you create those buckets and name them how you'd like. Up to 10
like
buckets.
Jack and Jill bucket. Yes, you
Like
need an actual blue bucket with a handle.
You know what? Some people do need that physical reminder.
People, I have a girlfriend who does envelopes.
Exactly. So you can create kind of a physical bucket through envelopes. Absolutely.
If you want to make as much money as possible on your money, and the stock market is terrifying, because it is.
Yeah.
What do you suggest for someone who's like a big wuss with their money like I am?
Yeah. Well, we kind of talked about it. Get some professional help. Right?
Yeah.
Like, no.
With everything in my life.
With a financial advisor. But we all outsource different things, right, that we're not good at. So that's a great place to start. But second rule is to diversify, right? So don't put all of your eggs in one basket or one stock. Make sure that you're diversifying across lots of different companies. We talked bonds, stocks, real estate. Diversify. That's one of the best ways to reduce risk.
Yes. But what if we want to boost an emergency fund? By the way, everyone should have an emergency fund, even if it's just $100.
Yes. So emergency fund is important because you don't want to be reaching for a credit card when something happens, right? Your car needs some maintenance, your AC unit goes out. So an emergency fund is important for that. We typically recommend 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in an emergency fund. And to take it a step further, put that in a high yield savings account. Those are accounts that are savings accounts. You want to make sure they're FDIC insured. They're paying a lot more just to park your money there in interest than your traditional savings account. Yeah. So keep your emergency fund there. And again, work backwards. What is my 3 months worth of living expenses? Okay, that's what I need to save. If that feels too daunting, just put something in there, just like you said.
Okay, and then hopefully you don't have to reach for that money, but there's so many people are just drowning in credit card debt. How do you review it? How do you manage it? What do you pay off first?
Yeah, you need to come up with a plan as opposed to just throwing money at the problem, because it will likely snowball because interest builds on each other. So a couple plans that you can have is you can look at the highest interest card and try to pay that off first, pay that down more aggressively. That will save you more money over time. Or you can look at what is the smallest balance I have, try to pay that off. That could motivate you over time, right? Oh, paid off one, paid off another, etc. Another good plan is to do a balance transfer, so you can find a credit card that has a 0% rate over a period of time. But if you do that, you want to pay down that credit card during that period of time, because if not, rates go back up.
And a credit check as well is important, right?
Absolutely. It's a great time to do a credit check. I recommend it to do it once a year. So now is about a great time because it's the start of the year. You should be able to pull that free at annualcreditreport.com. And you want to check for fraud, for banks that you didn't think, statements or credit cards you didn't think had money on it. Anything that looks suspicious, you want to work with the credit report to get it checked on your account.
Well, thank you very much.
Ooh, thank you, Maggie. We did it.
We did.
You'll come back because this is money.
We're all running out of money.
Money matters. Exactly. Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.